We are live on YouTube? Awesome. Just going to keep an eye on Rumble here for a second or two. If it doesn't go live, I'll switch over. So, hi guys. For you, those of you watching on YouTube, you should be seeing everything fine right now. Looks like we're having a slight delay on waltonsinc.com/live. If that continues here for another couple of seconds, I will... Nope, there we are. We are up and we're going. Great. Thanks for joining us. Those of you who are Meatgistics users will have noticed the severe lack of presence from me over this entire week. We have been trying to fix as many things as we can on the website. During our initial launch, we kind of said not as good as we hoped, not as bad as we feared. People were generally able to place orders, manipulate their orders, get what they needed. Obviously, there were some problems. That CSRF token thing has finally been fixed. That fixed a few other pricing issues we were having, but right now we are having a fairly substantive issue with some auto-generated coupons. So if you're someone who has recently gone ahead and done a review for us, either a picture or normal review, you might be experiencing some issues with your coupons. I'm working on that. What we're going to do is regenerate those. I will then get a list of all the ones, everyone who has sent an incorrect coupon, and I'll go ahead and send them a corrected coupon. Apologize about that. It just wasn't something we thought was going to be an issue, but definitely became an issue. That's good. Other than that, though, most things seem to be working fairly well on the website. I hope you guys like it. Once we get everything fully figured out, we're going to start doing some of those special features we talked about, like the snack stick, the jerky, all those pages, which would have everything you need. I just need to wait for a weekend where I can shut everything down for a little bit and do some testing, do some playing, and make sure that it's actually going to work. Theoretically, I know it will work. So, yeah, just it will be a little bit of time. So for today's is probably going to be a fairly quick one. Next week, we're going to introduce an entire new segment with somebody else up here with me as we review products, specifically some sort of food product. So it'll be a seasoning. This is someone that I very much enjoy listening to rant. So hopefully we can get him going, get him a little fired up, and then just sit back and laugh at him. Sorry, with him. Yes, with him. That would be Patrick, by the way. He's going to start making his way out from behind the camera a little bit more to this side of the camera. I think he has a good natural flow with us. He'll probably start replacing Austin on some of the podcasts, allowing Austin to do things that need to be done that no one else other than Austin can do. Talking's not that hard. Coding and figuring out all of these things is very hard. So he's better at that than anyone else we have here. Hence, that's what he's doing. Okay, so we are going to start trying to hold more to this form that we're trying to create for these Meatgistics live streams. So it'll be somewhat segmented out. We started 2 weeks ago. Each one, we're going to have a meat hack, a meat fact, a product spotlight, and then I'm going to try and do a coupon or something discounted, something special for people who are viewing this. It's not something that I'm going to go ahead and advertise. It's only going to be for people who join our live streams. This one is something kind of funny. We were looking for a long time for a ceramic chef's knife or ceramic cook's knife, something like that. We finally found one, and it was with a vendor that we were already using. It's Jacquard. Strangely enough, they are out of Rochester, New York, which is where I was living right before I came down here. And they had this really nice all-white ceramic blade. I think less than a month after we initially started getting these in stock, Jacquard discontinued these. So I put the one that I had away and literally never thought about it again. I was back in the warehouse today looking for something separate, and I noticed a huge box of these. So we had like, I think 15 or 16 of them still sitting back there, and I don't know the last time we had sold one. In fact, I can look that up right now because I'm interested in it. But they're pretty awesome knives, honestly. Uh-oh. Let's see here. So we have 18 in stock, 17 in stock. And the last one we sold was in February. So I just dropped the price on these to $18 and went to work in dulling it. The reason I went to work in dulling it is because I kept at the time reading all these different things on whether or not you could sharpen a ceramic blade without a ceramic truing stick. There were equally insistent yeses and nos. So I'm dulling this, or I've dulled this knife. Not enough though, so we're gonna have to keep dulling it. I thought I had it duller than that. We're gonna dull it, and then we're gonna try and sharpen it with that diamond sharpening steel. This is the Smith's diamond sharpening steel. We sell it for $30-something. It's not that expensive, and it's an awesome steel, especially for just the home guy who doesn't use their knives all that much but wants to keep them nice and sharp. Obviously, it's not. It's still fairly sharp. That's annoying. We'll keep working on it. But for somebody who doesn't want to spend the money on a true knife sharpener like the True Hone, it's a great option. It does actually resharpen your blades. We've talked about it a lot here, but a generic or steel is not a sharpening instrument. It is a realignment instrument. It's going to push your knife back straight. This has a very rough texture to it. It's got this diamond-coated metal. On the inside is a piece of orange poly, and it will actually remove material from the edge of the blade and let you form a completely new blade. Patrick, I'm hearing me from somewhere over there. Any ideas? Okay, cool. Gotcha. I just didn't want it to pick back up and create a loop. All right. So that's got to be dull enough. So, I mean, it's starting to rip it instead of slicing through it. So we're going to give it a quick run on this. And I have a feeling this noise isn't going to be great. Oh, that can't be sharpening it. Maybe. Because I'm seeing some small amount of white material being left on this sharpener as I'm going. All right. I think that worked. We'll see. Clearly got a dull section in it. Oh yeah, right in the center it's got something that is dull as all get out. I can hear it as that section hits. It's almost like a pop. So I must have pushed it badly out of straight. I wonder if I can see it. Just vaguely might be able to see it. All right, let's see if that did it. If not, I'm going to say you can't sharpen a ceramic with a diamond sharpening steel. Nope. You cannot sharpen a ceramic with a diamond sharpening steel. So now, in between now and next live stream, my goal is to find out what I can use to sharpen that without buying something new. Because this was razor sharp before we started, and now I can hardly cut through paper. In fact, I would say trying to sharpen it on that dulled it significantly more. So, kind of answered our question there. You cannot sharpen a ceramic knife on a diamond sharpening steel. Pop over to chat and see what you guys are up to. One other thing, everybody should have gotten their Meatgistics reward if they qualified for it, either the hat at 500 with your name stenciled on the side or embroidered on the side, the cutting board with your name on it at 1,000 posts, and that lovely chef's knives back there at 1,500 posts. So, like, I always hear about sushi chefs that have like knives that are never designed to touch a cutting board. I think that's how I'm going to treat that knife. I don't think I'm going to use it for anything. Like, if I use it for something, it'll be for cutting something like super special and not to chop on things. Interested in if people at home are going to make them functional or going to make them decorative, kind of like that one is. One other thing that we will commit to now, anyone who gets one of those can send it in. Now they have to pay shipping, but can send it in at any time, and we will resharpen them on the True Hone. Get them right back to just as sharp as they were. So if you do want to use it as a knife, we've got your back. We will get them back to razor sharp with the True Hone. The anticipation of heckling Patrick might kill me. Definitely review problems. Message said I'd already reviewed the items. So, Bob, you went to review things and it said, hey, you've already reviewed this? I mean, I don't know how else. That's how I take it. I can't think of anything else it would be. Also, what is a mugwump? Oh, there it is. The mugwump is a bird that sits on the fence. It's mugs on one side and it's wumps on the other. Okay. Mugwumps. Team Mugwump. That will be the name for Team Gray. Yeah, but so every last Friday of every month, or no, the fourth Friday of each month, I have a reminder to pop up on my calendar to check everybody's post count to see who's made it into that next level. So it won't be necessarily as you do them, or like as you reach it. It might be as you reach it, and then as much as a month before we send for your cutting board, your hat, your knife, whatever you're using there, or whatever you're getting to there. But we are going to check them every month. Just looking quickly. I don't know if Chef's here today, but Chef sent me something. I got to show you guys. I'll be right back. It's in the fridge. Chef sent me a one large pecan pie and about, I think, 18 or so of these small pecan pies. And oh my God, are they good. I figure that technically that's breaking my only eat what I create or what I've made deal on Meatgistics, which I've been doing great on, honestly. I think I was down to 192 yesterday, which is like 9 pounds down when I started like 3 weeks ago. But I figure this is okay since Chef's kind of doing it with me, along with me. Certainly he wouldn't send me anything to sabotage me, right? Clearly he's not trying to beat me by sending me bad food. And he sent a huge pie in there as well, which I am super excited to get. I also have a half bushel of Maryland blue crabs on the way. They were supposed to be here at 10:30 this morning, but FedEx still says they're out for delivery, but has not gotten them here quite yet. I'm anxiously awaiting. I am going to either steam them if they're not steamed, which I think they are, and then I'm going to crack them and clean them, and I'm going to soak them in olive oil, garlic, and Italian parsley. And I absolutely can't wait for that. We're then going to pour out a huge, well, probably just a shaker of the Captain's Bay seasoning and drag the crab meat through it and eat it. We're probably going to do that for tomorrow's podcast, which if we do that, we're going to record it outside. So that should hopefully be a ton of fun Come on, be here. No, it still says it's on vehicle for delivery. I wonder if there was a problem. That's a pain. All right, so we are getting close to grilling season. I mean, it's always grilling season, but we're getting close to summer. Our giveaway this month is definitely based around that. We're going to be giving away something I think a lot of you will like. I know some of you, especially Tex, already has. But we're going to be giving away a PKTX grill with the stand. Then also a collection of our favorite seasoning shakers, a Meatgistics shirt, and a Walton's hat. So that will go live on the 1st, which is Tuesday. On that day, we'll also have our monthly live stream where we'll draw a winner for this current month's giveaway, which is a Walton's 22 grinder. So on Tuesday, we'll have a pretty action-packed live stream. There'll be plenty of stuff to give away, plenty of winners to draw. And with that 22 grinder, someone's getting an awesome unit. I absolutely love that thing. But for our meat hack, we are doing, for you, those of you with a propane grill, first, I would tell you to upgrade to a pellet grill. Somebody like Ryan Jones would tell you to upgrade to a charcoal grill, but that's way too much work. I just like the ease of a pellet grill. I press a button and then turn a dial and come back 10 minutes later and my grill is at the temperature I want. I mean, it doesn't get much better or simpler than that. But for a propane grill, one of the big challenges for a lot of people, especially inexperienced barbecuers, grillers, they don't know when their propane tank is running out. You can tell sort of by lifting it, but you have to have something for reference there. You have to know how heavy it is when it's full and how heavy it is when it's empty. And since it's such a long time in between that, it's easy to forget. So a really easy way to tell how full your propane grill is disconnect it, turn it all the way off, set it away from your grill, get a cup of basically boiling water and pour it over top of that. Then put your hand on the tank and start moving it down. Where it's warm, that's empty. As soon as it gets cold, that's when you know that's the level of how full it is. So if it's halfway down, that's halfway full. If it doesn't get cold until the very bottom, it's almost empty. And the reason for that is fairly obvious. Where it doesn't have propane pushing up against it, it's empty back there. So the hot water can heat that metal really easily. But propane doesn't form a liquid until it's either negative 44 degrees or it's under really high concentrated pressure. Obviously, the latter is what how it stays liquid in that tank. They pump it in there under really high pressure and it just forms into a liquid. But the hot water on the outside of the tank is not enough to heat that metal where the cold from the propane is on the back side of it. So super simple way to do it if you have a propane grill. Heck, even I have a partial propane grill. My Woodwind has that sear box, which is propane powered. I know I talk about it a lot, but no one's taken that Woodwind from me. I love that thing. Absolutely love it. And the guy who won last month's giveaway where we were giving either the Woodwind or the Vertical Double XL did claim his prize. I did get it sent off to him. So hopefully he has it and he's enjoying it because, man, I love that thing. It's absolutely awesome. Oh, Ryan has the PK original. No, so this is the PK TX. I tried finishing my summer sausage in water bath and it worked great. Where can I find a container for heating the water in? Jerry, we have something. It's a sous vide tank. I have one right down here. So I'll post a link and then I'll bring it up so you can see the dimensions on it. It's a 19-liter tank and its dimensions aren't listed. So I'll measure that real quick. No, Austin. You don't get to be on this. You're either in here or you're working. Get back to work. bit of a storage thing down here, so. So this is the size of our sous vide tank. It's 19 liters. It is 18 by 12 by about 9.5. So 18 inches long, 12 inches deep, well, 12 inches wide, and 9.5 inches deep. Fairly good for doing summer sausage. If you're doing really large ones, you might have to cut them in half to get them in there. If you do that, then I would probably recommend vacuum sealing them. But in general, you really don't have to vacuum seal your product before you finish it up in the water. Once it's reached 130 degrees internal temperature, the meat, all the proteins have denatured, they've formed. You're not going to lose anything as far as flavor that way. You're not going to make the meat watery or loggy, anything like that. If there is an advantage to vac sealing, it's for your sous vide circulator's longevity. As those things continue to cook, they're going to off-put a little bit of oil, a little bit of fat, maybe even some casing. And if you have the type of sous vide that brings in water, heats it up and shoots it back out, it can clog up that filter, especially the fats. So getting them in a vac bag prevents that from happening. But other than that, just put them right in water. For the longest time, I was sure that there was some sort of downside other than, possibly damaging your sous vide to putting them directly in water. And then I did it a few times, and vac sealing them is really unnecessary. It goes just as well if you put them right in the water. Ooh. Yeah, ND Mike says use a roaster oven. If you have one, a lot of people are doing that. Austin, we probably need to look for something like that from one of our vendors, a roaster oven that we can sell specifically for sous vide, and then we can charge a premium for it and slap a Walton's. No, I'm just kidding. So with the blue crab, the whole reason I did it is because I found out a bunch of people here hadn't had it, and we did it. I'm from the East Coast. We used to get Maryland blue crabs all the time, and I absolutely adore them. So, Papa Sop, you have the Weston circulator, and are you talking about one of like the big orange meat lugs, or are you talking about like one of the small size gray poly pans? Because I've done the orange meat lug, that size with the Weston sous vide, the little one, and it takes a long time, and I don't even think I was ever able to get it to stabilize above 170 degrees. So I'm wondering if you're talking about the big meat lug or the little poly pan. Just let me know. Yeah, we wanted to do something, ND Mike, we wanted to do something different for our giveaways. They'd been basically a grinder of some sort, and we did the one Camp Chef, but everything else had been Walton's of some brand or of some sort. And everybody really seems to like those PKs. I know Ryan likes his. It's what a lot of the guys use for the SCA events, the Steak Cook-Off Association, which we are having another one of those here. So anyone who's in the Wichita area or feels like making a trip, we will be doing it in August at some point. As soon as we can get the website up and working as well as we want to, Austin and I will also start working on the Meatgistics meetup. We're absolutely going to try and do that this year, and it should be a great time. We have great facilities here to do a lot of classes, a lot of teaching. We can even set up things where Meatgistics users can try out pieces of equipment that they've always wanted or wanted to see how they work. We can do a ton of demonstrations, have a really good time, and just finally get to meet face-to-face. I'm lucky enough, Tex stops in here every once in a while. He and I can talk. It's great to put a face to a name. Papa Sop and I met a couple of years ago up at Pheasant Fest, but there are tons of you guys that I'd really like to put a face to the name. You know, other than the last few weeks where I haven't been around, we spend a lot of time communicating, reading each other's stuff. So that's going to be a good time. And hopefully it can be an annual thing. So, all right. So for a meat fact, this is a little bit different than like a normal Walton's meat fact, but I have two, and they are more like facts like what is that? Trivia than like a useful meat fact. The first is that bacon has been around since at least 1500 BC. So 1500 BC in China, they were making bacon, which just is absolutely flooring to me. I tend to think back then like people barely moving out of caves, but they were already knowing enough of how to cure or at least preserve a product like pork belly, which really makes me think how much different our gut biome is now than it was way back then. Like, could they just basically eat raw meat and be fine like a dog? I have to imagine that their sanitation standards were far lower. Their ability to deal with parasites and things like that must have been way higher. So I don't know. That just, anytime I read of anything from that long ago, that's like a food fact, it always just stuns me. Totally unrelated, but since we're talking about history, if nobody knows about it, there is a podcast series out there called Hardcore History with Dan Carlin. I can't recommend it highly enough. If you like history, this is the best podcast. I absolutely love it. On his page right now, the free ones he has is The King of Kings, which is a 3-parter, which I think goes about 10 hours total, split between 3 of them. It might be a little bit even longer than that. But awesome, takes incredibly deep dives into things and is just so much fun. It's a great way to learn whenever you have like found time or when you're mowing your lawn or something. The other one was that 2013, so this is a shame. 2013 was the first year where more fish was consumed in the U.S. than beef. Now that's since flipped back around. I don't know what was going on in 2013. It was probably some weird health push to stop eating so much red meat, which is ridiculous. Fish is good for you, and fish is delicious. I love it. But there's no way I'm eating more fish than I am eating meat. That's insane. Over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've been doing that thing on Meatgistics where I've been only eating what I prepare, except for this earlier today. And I'm really enjoying it. It's allowing me to focus more on like what I'm cooking, and then I enjoy the food more. Like if I take something out of a package and I throw it in the oven, or even worse, the microwave, and then eat it, I don't have any connection to that food. It's just I bought it and I kind of cooked it, and now I'm eating it. When I cook something especially if I cook something that I've harvested, but for the most part, if I'm cooking something like a steak, something I bought at the store, but I'm actually taking the time to fully prepare it. So go from raw to how I like my steaks and everything cooked. I have more invested in it, so I appreciate it more, and I'm more apt to make choices that are good, like based on nutrition. I have to tell you, the week after I made that change, I was almost in like a manic state a lot of the time, and in like a good way. I was in a great mood. I had way more energy than I had. My mindset was better. My attitude was better. So what we eat really does have a huge effect, or at least for me, what I eat has a huge effect on the type of person I am. So, all right. So product spotlight. I've got a few things up here, but before we get to that, I want to talk about these snack sticks. So this is a new seasoning for us. It's not a new seasoning from Excalibur, but we did not stock it until recently. It is sweet chili snack sticks. Now, the first time I make something, I always try to add no cheese and no citric acid so I can taste what the actual seasoning is intended to taste like. Now, when I hear sweet chili, I think of something more like a Asian sriracha, so sweet, but like a chili sauce. The sriracha has that one canister that's just the screw off top and it's green. Like that's a sweet chili sauce in my mind. They seem to have gone for more literal, like a pot of chili with brown sugar in it. That might not sound good, but these are excellent. Oh, my crabs are here. If that is what they were going for, they hit it nail on the head. It is amazing that it tastes exactly like that. And I'm not the only one who says that. Everyone who's had it agrees that that's exactly what it tastes like. Sorry, I'm trying to get the crabs in here. Okay. Would be really good with the ghost pepper or the cheddar cheese. Either one of those really gonna meld well with that. If you don't want heat, obviously don't add the ghost pepper. It's significantly hot. I don't know what this would be like with encapsulated citric acid. I generally like to add it to all my snack sticks, but I don't know if I would add it to that. I might measure out a really fine amount of sodium erythorbate. Sodium erythorbate also accelerates the cure, but it doesn't impart really any noticeable tang. I can't imagine what this would be like with a tang. So probably would not add encapsulated citric acid to it. Another new seasoning from Excalibur, or at least new for us, it's on the website. It's horseradish bratwurst. That was one I was actually really excited about because I wanted God, I'm forgetting it again. I've lost more words and thoughts over the last 2 months probably than I ever have in my entire life. The wasabi. I wanted to make a wasabi brat, and horseradish was kind of the closest thing to that. As soon as I opened the bag, I knew it wasn't going to be exactly what I was looking for. First thing I smelled was cloves, and I only picked up a faint, like kind of horseradish-y scent to it. When I made it, yes.
Special delivery.
Yes. Rush.
Try to get you something to open the box.
I got it, thanks.
There you go.
Ooh, I can smell them.
Is that a good sign?
I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm hoping they're nice and cold. All packed in here. Yep. Ah, he got me. I thought you were good if you held them by that. Look at them. Cute little guys. You are going to taste so good. Say hi. Say hi. Ooh, can you hear that? So I've got a half bushel of those. I'm going to go ahead and steam them, then clean them and let them sit in oil and garlic and Italian parsley. Super excited for that. Cannot wait to have Austin, Patrick, all these people try Maryland blue crabs for the first time. It is such a good taste. Yeah, that's a good point. Tim Evers, see if I can find it. There's an awesome Meatgistics post on making a sous vide tank. There it is. I think this is the one at least. It's part of it at least. It's a pretty long post. So if you go to if you go to that link, if that works, that should take you to the how to make a tank out of a cooler. Oh, Lynn's going to Vegas. Well, have fun, Lynn. I hope you hit it big if you're a gambler. For product spotlight, though, what we've got is the all-around jerky maker. So the all-around jerky maker is designed to attach to, it fits our Walton stuffers. They will fit some grinders, but for the most part, it is better to use a stuffer with it. Obviously, it's a piece of plastic that funnels the meat up through this mouth, and you have various different heads you can use to give you different types of jerky. So you've got these 3 round holes, which will give you basically a skinless snack stick. Now that's great, but you can't treat it like a snack stick. You're not going to be able to hang it over racks. You're going to have to lay that out on some sort of jerky sheet, because obviously without a casing, it's not going to be strong enough to hold. Or more commonly, you've got this strip jerky, which you just insert right in there. And as you crank it down, it pushes the meat out, forces it through these holes into strips that wide. The hardest thing to do when doing this is keep the paper running at the correct rate for the first little bit. Definitely better with 2 people. Can be done with 1. I've done it with 1 numerous times, but it is better if you can have 1 person turning the crank and the other one controlling how quickly the paper comes off. The paper comes with it, sits underneath here, feeds up through the top, and once you get it down and running, the force of the jerky coming out of there will help move the paper along, but it definitely is better if you have somebody doing that separately. And those were out of stock for a long time, so I think they've been back in stock for a while, but they are an awesome and easy way to make ground and reformed jerky. Venison actually sometimes can be a little bit easier to make ground and formed jerky out of. Venison has so much connective tissue, cartilage in there, that when you're slicing it up, a lot of the times you'll end up with really narrow pieces, and those don't tend to do great in either a smoker or a dehydrator, because when they're expelling their water, once meat reaches about 130 degrees, it's really going to start pushing its water out. You're not only losing it from your thickness, you're losing it from the sides as well. So you'll end up with a lot of really long, really thin pieces that don't eat or chew all that well. Ground and formed product, all that comes out. Another advantage to a ground and formed product is you can use something like Sure-Gel, or you can even use carrot fiber, and you're going to get product yield enhancement. So it will increase your final yield, let you get more out of that jerky or out of that deer or whatever you're making it out of. So 2 last things. I was talking about this on one of the live streams or podcasts. This is the Camp Chef cast iron conditioner, and I can't recommend that thing enough. It has saved a cast iron pan of mine from home, and this is after just 2 treatments with it here. Basically, when you're done cooking, after you've cleaned it and dried it, you just coat it with that light coating. I spray it on and then I grab a paper towel and just rub it all around. And my cast iron at home, literally when I fry an egg in there, I don't put anything down, and the outside edge of it flutters, of the egg just starts fluttering. It's got nothing to grab onto. Cleaning my pan nowadays with eggs is just taking a rag and wiping it. And there's no residue, there's no nothing. And I really do think that is mostly responsible for that. This is going to go on sale next month. It's not that expensive anyways, but it's going to go on sale next month. As is another thing from Camp Chef, and that is this bacon panini press. So this is just a little piece of cast iron with some ridges underneath. Great for a griddle. If you want to lay it on the griddle, get it nice and hot, and then put it on top of your panini, it'll give those nice ridges that we're used to seeing with paninis. It's also got some heat or some heft to it. It's got some weight. So I think they're calling it a bacon press because they're saying lay it down on bacon to make sure your bacon doesn't curl, or just eat bacon that curls. I mean, that's what happens with bacon. That seems like an over use of anything, like creating a product to stop bacon from curling. Bacon curls. But would be great on burgers too. Help cook from both sides quicker. And it's just a nice heavy piece of cast iron is always a fun thing to have around. At least I enjoy it. Oh, everybody lost video. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I lost video too. It says live. Let me see if I can figure this out, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, it says it's in progress. I don't think anyone would have messed with the landing page. I'm just going to double check something real quick. Sorry, guys. Yeah, nope, that is totally blank. All right, well, I apologize for that. We were basically done, though. I mean, I proved that you can't sharpen a ceramic knife with a diamond steel, I think, fairly definitively. We talked about the sweet chili being a really literal name, and I want to talk to somebody from Excalibur and find out if that's what they were going for. Did they really want like a pot of chili taste just with some brown sugar, or did something unexpected happen? Obviously want to thank Chef again for these awesome pecan pies, which I will eat sparingly to try to maintain to my diet as best as possible. And again, earlier on, I posted a link, but I'll do it again, to those ceramic Santoku knives. They are discontinued from our vendor. We didn't discontinue them. We liked them. But I still have 17 or so in stock. So we're going to go ahead and I marked them down to $18, which is just a little bit above cost. And there you go. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know what happened with the video. To the best of my knowledge, that hasn't been an issue. I've never seen that before. But I'm going to get to steaming my crabs. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And we will be back here on Tuesday when we're going to have our Walton's monthly live stream. We're going to draw a winner for this current month. We're going to announce next month, though I just told you what it was. We'll have sales, and then we'll have some jerky, some snack sticks, and or seasoning, and maybe one or two other things to give away. The bare minimum, I'm sure Austin will want to give away one of his leather aprons until everybody has one. All right, thanks, guys.